these ladies a round of applause. And okay, but we'll just get ready to give the ladies a round of applause. And Kevin just came out because I was going to give you a special introduction.
I'll take it.
The one and only Mr. Kevin Pendleton, who is an amazing technical director for Luster Products. Give him a round of applause. See, they wanted the man to be last, you see. You were last, but I hadn't forgotten you. I'll never forget you. So this is what we're going to talk about today, about all these incredible products. So when we start talking about beauty talk by beauty experts, and we started this last year, and it was amazing. What does beauty mean? Ooh, she batted those pretty eyes.
That's a good question. To me, beauty is something that everyone has. Oftentimes, it's different in each person. But I think beauty is that unique, special, a lot of times you hear it now called that black girl magic, but it's that special something that you have that's unique to you and you alone. That's beauty to me.
I'd like each of you to tell me what beauty means to you.
I would say that anything created by God is beautiful.
Well, that's just what I was going to say. I think beauty is what God created you to be.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say the same thing. I was going to say it is the fingerprint that God has given each individual person inside and out.
A fingerprint.
I was going to say the same thing. No, just totally joking. I think that beauty starts from within. People sometimes mistake what's on the surface level as being beauty, but it's not. What's inside is what really counts, because this is going to go away. Yes.
Beauty is what you think of yourself. Now, I'm the best that I could be. At best, I am a success. I believe in God and I believe in me, and I will never allow another human being to make me think less of me, because I am me and I'm the best that I could be. So it is, so it is. It's what you think of yourself.
That's a powerful statement.
Not what someone else sees. It's what you see in the mirror. When you look in that mirror, you don't need anyone else to tell you that you're beautiful. When you feel beautiful and you're beautiful inside, when you look at that mirror, you see a beautiful thing every time you look at yourself.
And Shawn?
Well, I would say, for me, God is the ultimate creator. That means God is also an artist. So he would never create, or the Spirit would never create anything that is not beautiful, right? So with that said, beauty is you. Beauty is everything about you. And when people see you, they don't just see the external, but they see your spirit as well. So to me, that's what beauty is all about.
So it's kind of like that same idea of when you really want to take an inventory of your life and start to really become the best you that you can be. I think it takes a lot of separation from the rest of the world and the social media that are telling you your eyebrows have to look a certain way and your dresses have to look like this. I mean, these are false ideas, but they're so in your life every single day. It's kind of hard to differentiate what's real and what you should ingest from what is poisonous and toxic to your life. And it's very camouflaged in just regular days life. So it's hard to know the two. So I would say, get off Instagram, get off Twitter, talk to your accountability friends and partners, the one that go to church with you, the ones that call you out when you're not doing what you're supposed to do right. And then that'll really let you look at your life in a true reflective way where you can progress and become something better than you are today.
Before we go on, I like that accountability partners. People who will tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And anybody who doesn't tell you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth really isn't your friend. Okay, what do you think?
Well, I'm right now raising sons. I have 12 and 13-year-old boys. And as far as like comparison, because like you said, social media, when they're in school, I have nieces, so young girls, I think sometimes get caught up so much in comparison because they're not necessarily settled. They're still kind of coming into who they are. And that carries on even into adult life. So I think stop comparing and maybe like trying to live up to a standard that's not you. Because I do believe that everybody has been given a unique package within themselves, and we're all different because we're supposed to express a different part of God. So that beauty, I think you need to like kind of expound on and say, okay, this is what I'm working with. God, what am I supposed to do with this? Who am I supposed to help? Because that's ultimately what I feel that our unique gifts and beauties and talents are for, is to kind of encourage someone else.
You know, Patricia, you've seen a lot of different changes, right? Of, you know, different people and I guess what beauty is. And beauty has changed a lot over the years through what we see on television, what we see on the internet, what we see on radio, on cable. How do we differentiate between the reality of your life and being beautiful and the reality of what is on reality TV or other programs on television?
I think it starts with just being true to yourself. I think that we're uniquely made. Each one of us has unique qualities and attributes that no one else has. I have a daughter and a son. I raised them to love themselves as they are. And I think there's a place for reality TV, but I think the reality of who you are and embracing who you are, embracing what you have, what God gave you, whether it's natural hair, the makeup, whatever you have that's naturally you, embrace it and love yourself. But just be true to who you are, and all the rest of it will find its place where it should be.
You know, I think that it's really interesting, Shawn, because you're dealing not only with how people's scalps are work. I mean, you're getting into that internal kind of piece. When you talk to people about the beauty or what their expectation is of beauty or the issues that they have, what kind of problems are you seeing where people are having problems with their self-awareness and the way they look and see themselves?
I think a big part of the beauty is defined by our culture. So what all of the other panelists have been talking about, when we look at ourselves and we do have issues with our hair, we're comparing the way our hair looks from our mother, our sister, our auntie, and then we look at ourselves and we think like, I don't really look good. So sometimes we do have to be like a horse with blinders on. We have to block out what's on the left, block out what's on the right, look directly in the mirror at ourselves and say, I am beautiful, with or without hair. I can decide to cut all of my hair off and my hair doesn't define me. I can put on a wig if I have to because that's my only option. But we have to block out what we see. You know, we look at reality TV, that's their reality. That's not necessarily my reality. So we have to really take a look at what is my reality versus what is someone else's reality, and then define beauty of what I am or who I am based on who I see in the mirror.
That's, you know, who I am or what I am versus what I see in the mirror. That's deep. So, Risa B., you're of another generation, and
Yes.
everything is moving fast.
Very fast.
And, you know, red bottoms, the hit, you gotta, you know, you gotta rock, you gotta roll, you gotta do this. I mean, seriously, and it's coming, life is coming at you fast. How do you all, you know, how do you all actually keep that balance in how you not only see yourself, how you take care of yourselves in this movement that is so in your face?
Well, I personally have a lot of girlfriends who need to have every pair of red bottoms on the market, all the new Gucci bags, Louis bags. And you know, I had my little taste of that, and then I realized I need a house. I need property because things come and go. What you wear does not define who you are, and that's something that my generation has totally lost sight of. My family, they're very humble. You guys have probably met them. But what the clothes you put on your back, the shoes you wear, the handbags you own, it does not define who you are. You're beautiful just by being you. When I cut all my hair off like a year ago, I kind of had a little bit of a hard time because I was used to long hair. And then eventually I got to the point like, oh my God, I do look dope. My friends aren't lying to me. My coworkers aren't lying to me, you know, and I saw my beauty, you know? So that's one thing I hope that my generation comes to terms with, that the things you put in your bag, the things you own, your crazy car note of $900 and you're making 30 grand a year doesn't mean anything at the end of the day. What's inside is what counts.
Thank Thank you. Hi, Kevin. So one of the things that you travel all over the world as a brand representative. What do you see as some of the challenges? And you're seeing them from different ages. What are some of the things that people are talking about in terms of beauty and their expectations of beauty?
You hit it when you say expectations, because expectations and reality TV are oxymoron. It's not reality. I always tell young people, look for the mic. If they mic'd up when they walked to the door, it was staged. It wasn't reality. It's not real.
Oh, that's deep. Say that one more time.
Look for the mic. Because if it's reality TV, I wouldn't know you was coming to my door. And I wouldn't be able to hear you unless you was mic'd. They wouldn't be able to mic you unless it was staged. Right. So I always tell them, look for the mic and the reality of it. But the second thing I want to add to that is a dictionary. There's such a play on words around the world. Keep it real.
You say it in a dictionary.
You need a dictionary to know what the word is. Because keep it real, you got to know what real is. You know, you got to know, was you conceived out of real love or were you conceived out of lust? If not, you don't know what real is. You don't know what a man loving a woman is unless you lived in a house where you saw a man love a woman. So keeping it real to you could be totally different. And like a word that's thrown out there right now is integrity. You can't have integrity without morals and values. You can't have morals and values without a heart. You can't have a heart without God. So before you spit the words out and before you start spitting things out, I challenge every young person, before you catch the next phrase, read up and see what the dictionary and the Bible says about it.
Oh, and so we go the whole span up here. I love these folks because it's real, and we need to hear it, and you need to be able to take that information back with you. So, I think this is really interesting. Shawn, in looking at the different ages, since ORS, just like Lester, you've been around for a minute. What are you seeing some of the challenges from people, because we're going now from baby boomers on, right?
Right.
And beauty to a baby boomer, a Generation X, Y, and the millennial. I mean, I don't even know what they are anymore, but that beauty means something totally different to each one of those generations. What are you seeing?
Well, I love that you asked that question because one of the things, as I hear the panel and everybody, what they've said has been incredible. One of the big things that we're facing, that we see, people are really like stereotypes. You know about stereotypes, obviously, and not just the ones which we talk about in beauty, but when you see someone, or you see the color of their skin, or you see what they're wearing, or you see what their hair looks like, then we have judgments. And it's not just judgments from other races, it's judgments from us. So when we're dealing with our own issues and lack of acceptance many times, we really have to step up to the plate and realize that this is coming from the inside out. And we raise our families, our children, and we talk to our accountability partners. The reality of the situation is that our culture, we have to really step up to the plate and show each other that no matter who you are, what walk of life you are, what your hair type, texture is, that you are authentically beautiful, God ordained beautiful. And I think that we have trouble, a lot of trouble with that, because of many times we want what other people have. We forget. When we came out of the womb, many people don't make it. Let's start with that. So we have to first have self-love. We have to give each other self-love. And I think that's really the root of it. Skin tone, hair texture, what shoes, what you wear, all of that. We have to forget that, because at the end of the day, we all are each other's keepers. And that's what it's all about.
I grew up in Indiana, and with families down south, and one of the things that appalled me, it made me ill, is that there really was an issue with the brown paper bag where people would, go ahead, you going to say?
Let me say one more thing, and I was the one that was going to be quiet.
But we already knew. We knew.
One more thing. When I travel around the world and I see other women from other parts of the world, it's the same exact thing. Yes, the brown paper bag, you'd be surprised. Everywhere, it's the same thing. Your skin tone, your hair texture, it's heartbreaking.
But Shawn,
Go
just
ahead,
a
Eva,
little bit
break
of
it down.
education.
Yes,
that's
please.
on purpose. okay? I don't know about you guys and how much you know about the diaspora, but we were brought here as an enslaved people, trying to strip us of our culture, which is our hair, stripping us of our language, stripping of us of the unique things that made us look like us. Some more fair, some more dark, some lips thicker. And what they did is they divided us and created an issue in our community amongst each other called colorism. And it's an issue that they gave us years ago. We can't seem to break. It is the most disgusting thing to hear another black person say, "Oh, you're beautiful for a black girl." Or a non-black person say, "Oh, you're beautiful. What are you mixed with?" As if black isn't beautiful. So it's our time as a culture with your generation, the fearless millennial generation, to come up, to step up, to have successful women rocking braids and natural hair, comfortable with who they are, still glamorous, still regal, still all of these things, but in our natural state. But we haven't been taught that. So as much as we want to talk about how bad it is, we have to talk about how we can change it, because it was an issue that was given to us that we have to figure out how to correct. It wasn't something we woke up in the morning and decided we didn't like light-skinned people. You know, that's not how that really happened. We were told that more fair, people that were more respected and got better treatment in life as it pertained to America and slave masters. And so all these years later, when you look at the workforce, be it corporate America or be it entertainment, the fair complected people get better jobs. They just do. They're depicted more successfully. And so it's about us as a people deciding that my sister, who's a dark-skinned sister, is actually smarter than me. Let's just be real about it. My friend is smarter. So let's put her on a pedestal instead of taking that pedestal that they want to put me on because they don't really know who I am. So that's all I wanted to say about colorism, because it's an issue, but it's an issue that we have, but it's an issue that was given to us. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely right.
Were you going to say something, Kevin?
That's funny she says that, because you're right. Teresa's generation, and now there's a new generation called the 9/11ers. They were born after 9/11. And they are very into the theories, and they are very into talking about the things. They don't have the trust and all that. So you're right. We have to start with the millennials, and we have to start with that newer generation, and we have to educate them. But my only problem with that is they don't have respect for wisdom, because they want everything young.
We didn't have respect for wisdom when we were kids
Yeah.
either, and neither did you.
But
and
yeah.
the baby boomers did not think that the kids in the 60s or 70s, my mom was completely a radical.
Oh, I really wasn't.
In the 60s.
I was
Yeah.
a rebel.
That's the case all the time. But what the younger generation has that the older generation doesn't have is fearlessness. Because
Exactly.
they're not settled. They don't have children. They don't have these stigmas and ideas and these bosses that they're working for and these pension plans that they might lose or these benefits that they can't get. These young kids are making their own way. So they'll stand up. The little Yara Shahidi is real different than when I was younger. You know what I mean? Where we couldn't necessarily stand up as much. And I can only imagine my parents' generation. But they might not listen the way we want them to, but they're hearing it. They're definitely hearing it.
One of the things I think that's really interesting too, though, is when we look at all of the new hashtags. Hashtag Black Girls Vote. Hashtag Black Girls Magic. Hashtag Black Girls Rock. And it's wonderful, but how do we use all those hashtags? I haven't seen a hashtag Black Boys Magic. Okay, I missed that one.
There is. So Beverly Bonds.
So she knows all these.
Yes,
Okay,
because I've been working with Black Girls Rock for years.
For today.
I did their I just did their keynote speech for the Black Girls Lead Conference, which are 150 girls, black girls from all over the world, from Zimbabwe to Sri Lanka, from everywhere. They go through a very rigorous academic application process to be a part of this program. Community service is the largest part of what they do, but pushing the bill forward and promoting culture is really what it's about, along with Black excellence in education. So Beverly Bonds started this organization called Black Girls Lead, which led to the whole Black Girls Rock movement. There's the Black Boys Rock, there's the Black Boys Lead, but she started it because she saw the void in beautiful little black girls just like her sitting here and hoping that when she becomes a 25-year-old woman, she really understands the potential and what life has for her. And the way life is structured now for this beautiful queen, it's not set up that way. So she wanted to make an environment and a reality and surround them with women like all the women and this young man on the panel and show them that we're successful, we're beautiful, we do well. So it exists.
All right, I got it. And that's good, because we need to have all of that. You know, see, they always sit over there and give me the number and count down just when we're warming up. Okay, so Eva Jane, because you have that this little, it looks like a thimble, and it's the bullet, and you can, press your makeup. You see a lot of faces. What kind of conversations do you have with some of the people that use your product?
Okay, so the conversations vary. Some people want to know about the invention process, which I'm always happy to share. A lot of people, of course, makeup advice, that kind of thing. I mean, I've been doing it for 24 years, so of course I have a lot of that to share.
But do they talk about beauty when you're sitting there putting on makeup? Do they have a conversation about beauty with you, or what they may or may not look like, or what they could be thinking?
One thing, if somebody sits in my makeup chair, I don't do any self-depreciating. I don't allow that. I don't like people being negative on their own selves, because it's like, it really gets under my skin, because I truly believe, we've all got something. Something that we're not quite settled with, something that I don't care how together somebody looks, we're all dealing with something. So I really try to make people feel at ease. I try to extend grace to people when they're in my chair. It's about enhancing what you've got, not covering up what you've got. So we all can be our own most beautiful selves. So that's what I like to spread. I don't deal in negativity at all. So I like to empower people. So whether it's how should I start my business, or how should I move forward with this dream that I have? Because just very quickly, before I started with the product creation, I had lots of doubts. I sat on it for about 7 years before I moved on it, because I didn't feel validated that I could do it. So now that I'm 5 years into this process, I'm letting people know that, look, you start small, but small beginnings can be amazing. Just this week, Ulta is testing my product on their online platform.
Yay!
So I'm like, and I get misty because I know how I started. And I started with my own money, and I'm still putting my own money into this thing. And now it can be, people all over the world. So I like to encourage people. And so, yeah, a plug, Ulta.com, let all your friends know, because if it does well, they'll pull it in stores. And when you have a platform like this, and when you're doing positive things, just like Eva, she's just telling, look, this is the knowledge that I have. God can he can share through us. So no matter what your platform is, if you're dealing with students, especially people who work with children, it's so important. You were talking about colorism. I have 2 sons. One is darker than both me and my husband, and one is lighter than both of us. And my darker son, it hurts my heart when he's running from the sun, and I can't get any darker and all that. I'm like, where did you get that? Because we didn't give it to you. So we just really, really need to just encourage one another in our beauty, because we are just a beautiful people.
I have something to say. Last weekend, I was in LA with a group of people, and I'm just laid out in the sun tanning, and some of the people I was with were complaining. They were like, I'm getting too dark. I have to get out the sun. I'm like, okay, get out. I'm going to enjoy it, okay? I need to tan. I'm from Chicago. Wintertime is coming. This is free right now.
Right, because you ain't going nowhere and all that hard.
And I was like, my parents told me if I was as dark as this carpet, I was beautiful. My dad, if we would go to Wisconsin Dells during the summertime, we'd have my dark chocolate drops, love you guys, My parents never once were like, oh, you're getting too dark, get out the sun. But these people I was with, their parents raised them to know there was a cutoff time for tanning. You're getting too dark, get out the sun. And that just baffled me. I was like, really? It's tanning.
Skin damage is one thing.
Right.
But color is a total nothing.
Right.
You can be, who's the one model that they call the Queen of the Darkness or whatever from Sudan? the new one.
Alex.
The new one.
Oh, the little young one.
She's this color and the most gorgeous. And it's just like, come on.
But one of the things I want to say is we've been talking a lot about skin color, but we really have to look at body shaming, because I have a set of twins, and one is tall, 6'3", brown, my color, but my daughter's a little heavier, and she's a little darker. And so my challenge is, you know, she sees, now what I realized, because I'm 50 now, going on 51, there was a time, you know, now when you walk in a room, the first place a woman looks is at your stomach to see if it's flat. Because so now, but it's true. So these are different things that we're dealing with that we don't want to talk about. So now we're on TV, we're sucking it out, we're cutting it out, we're doing all of this because we don't like ourselves. So not just with skin color, we need to be okay with who we are. We don't want to be unhealthy. You know what I'm saying?
Women have lost their lives for plastic surgery.
We're so stuck on, if I'm not a size 2, a size 3, now we got women who are 50, 60 trying to look like a 25-year-old. I can't compete with my 25-year-old self. I just can't. Listen, I don't want to, I'm a workout, but we do have to talk about shaming with bodies. Skin color is not only a part of beauty, but it's also our size, that we look at women who are not a particular size, and then we look our nose down on them. We have to stop that too.
It goes back to embracing yourself, embracing all that you are, and knowing that you are unique. If you are larger size, love yourself, because there are women who want to be larger. There are women who are trying to gain weight.
I'm one of them. I wish I was a size 8 or 6, I swear to God.
Yeah, so whatever you think you don't have, somebody else definitely feels like they should have.
Great.
And we always want to push them to change, like that child who's overweight.
We always push what?
To change, to lose the weight, to do this. But you have to take what you got. God gave the people three different, he gave them something different. And he asked them, what did you do with it? And those who took it and multiplied it, he rewarded them. The one that he sat on it, he didn't reward them. I'm bald. I don't know anything about hair growing from a woman's standpoint of view and manage it, but I do have concern for a client's time. I do have a compassion for a person. You got to take what you got and make it work for you. Because you may be a big sister, but a man who like good cooking may like you over somebody's pretty on the outside.
There's somebody for everybody. And you know what? I'm looking over there, and Shawn she's at the bit. What were you going to say, Shawn? She's so funny. She said, I'm not going to say much. Go ahead.
No, I was thinking about when you brought up body shaming and everything like that, and I was thinking about how much we have to overcome. You know, and how much the onslaught of what we should be, how we should look, what size we should be, and all of that, and the onslaught of media, and even our own family talk of what you should or should look like. It's the root is always in the family, and where you start and how you, and we have these and shows like this, and the reason we're here is because we want to share with you and uplift you, and you uplift us, because that really is what it's about. We have to continually talk to each other and share and uplift each other. And one thing, I have 2 children, and my daughter, from the time she was born, she was 9 pounds, and she didn't stop. My baby's built like her daddy. And, you know, she struggled a little bit with that, but then, you know, I had to give her confidence and let her know, you are amazing, you know, and no matter what. You know, you're never going to be a size 2, honey. You know, rock what you got. So that's, you know, it comes from that. Every day you have to tell them how beautiful they are.
Here's a question for you, and I know we're winding down as usual. We do this. We need to get this panel next year, but say we need 2 hours.
Yes.
That'd be amazing.
We really need to, for real, because we're winding down. She keeps pulling up the numbers. So, but something that you said, who was it? Somebody said about your parents. And what parents say and how they guide you. And you said something about the parents too. Sometimes, even though your parents are giving you advice, my daughter has reminded me on several occasions, and how many mistakes have you made, miss? Right?
Exactly.
And so, and you know, you just can, as a parent, sometimes we just have to chalk it up. You know, because I came out of a generation where we kept secrets. We didn't even talk. And she's sitting there looking over on the side eye. We didn't talk. We didn't tell people all the secrets. We kept things. We kept the parent who killed himself because he was dark and he couldn't get a job, or all those crazy things we've lived through as a people. And I think one of the other things that we have to really think about, and as we go out, because you have such a voice, just sitting here, you meet millions of people. The reality is people are going to hate us just because we're black, no matter the hue. And they don't even know your name. And so we have to start looking inward into ourselves, inward into our families, inward into our communities, and how we're going to build and strengthen ourselves.
Okay, Marsha, I want to just, it's funny, we're talking about the beauty thing.
Yes.
So back to the beauty. God has a sense of humor, because no matter where you change the way you look, your size, you still got to wear it on the outside. But your heart, you choose whether you wear it on the inside or the outside. So to make that change, you got to wear your heart on the outside if you have one. And those are the things that people will see and consider you beautiful no matter how you look when they can see your heart. So it's my practice to wear my heart on the outside where everybody can see my heart. Then they overlook the bald head. They overlook a couple of pounds.
Your bald head
they
is
overlook
nice,
good.
by the way.
You know, I like your bald head.
Then people begin to overlook those physical and those outwards, because the first thing they see and the last thing they remember is your heart.
First thing I see is your bald head. And I love your bald head, Kevin.
I love you, period, Pat.
Okay, let's give me last remarks. Go ahead.
Okay, good, because I had
I
something to
didn't get
piggyback.
but y'all can't be long.
Okay,
because
I
they're going
won't
to
be.
take us and kick us off
So
the stage.
if you take anything away from what I said today, it would be considerate of two people, the rest of the world, but first yourself. Be considerate of your struggles. Be considerate of your truth. Be considerate of your humanity. And then when you deal with other people that aren't on time or not doing it right, be considerate of their truth, of their struggle, and of their humanity.
Thank you.
Well, at my booth, I'm giving out free hugs. So if anybody needs one, I got an unlimited supply.
I love it.
One of my favorite songs is by Meghan Trainor, is I Love Me. So when you look in the mirror every day and you tell yourself, you love you, I love me, it's easy to love others.
I would end with what I tried to start with earlier, is that God gave everybody a unique fingerprint. Keep your fingerprint. It's unique to you to change the world, only the way that you can.
I think that you should always just be open-minded when things happen. For instance, I'll be quick. We did a tour this summer with our Pink Kids line in Walmart, and I'm in my 20s. I'm doing this on the weekend. I'm like, Dad, do I really? He's like, you got to, let's go. So we did a stop. I forget where we were, but a mom came up to me and she was like, I'm so happy you guys are here. And I was like, oh yeah, of course. And she's like, no, my daughter lost her father 2 days ago to violence. He was murdered. And this is the first time I've seen her smile. So to know that something, you know, I didn't want to go. I was like, we could send somebody else. But to know that me being there and, you know, hosting the event and, you know, we had celebrities there and stylists there. We gave the little girl a makeover. That did something to me. I was like, how selfish am I? We're giving back to the community, you know, and for me to bring a smile to this little girl's face who lost her father, that meant a lot. So just always be open-minded. You never know what the person sitting next to you is going through.
To me, it's important where you sit. Because sitting on this panel today, I get to see the beautiful Eva, who I've been watching since the early days. So I can walk away, I was on a panel with her. I have a new friend right here, some old friends. But if I was sitting behind Patricia and Teresa, that's legacy. Because Pat poured into me. I was the youngest stylist of this old stylist group. And Pat and them were the go-getter stylists. So I poured from Pat. And then I like to sit next to Teresa, because what I got from Pat, I'm pouring back into Teresa.
Yes, he is.
So it's important where you sit.
Important where you sit.
Well, I want to keep it short and sweet. Love one another.
Yes.
Love one another.
Yes.
That's the most
Let's
important.
give them a round of applause. Eva Marcel, Kevin Pendleton, Eva Jane, Patricia Williams, Deshaun Bullard, Risa Luster, Shawn Tollerson. Thank you all so very much.
Mika?
Can you hear? Okay, there it is. Ooh, I'm waiting, but these bags are heavy. Don't y'all walk away. You might get some gifts.